Jeez, can I live though? Gotta get it in while we got your attention. Okay, now you don't want to be groomed. Okay. Welcome back to BS with Brian Simpson. Sorry for the long absence. I got shit going on right now. But it's been too long. We're going to slip in a little episode. Okay? I don't know where we left off. Wow, we left off. Wow, we got a bunch of emails. I guess this episode is going to just be all emails because, yeah, it's been like 3 weeks. All right. This is from Calvsy. Hi, Brian, it's Calvsy. I released music with the artist name Calvsy, Calvsy. I've yet to do marketing for my music, and before I do so with marketing, I want to release 3 more songs. The thing is, I want to go on break from releasing music. I want to work on myself more, so before then, so the cover art looks nice, and I'll feel better about going to market my music to people. You can talk about the aforementioned stuff on your show if you want, but I'm not looking for promotion. More of the reason why I'm emailing you is because I believe you're a smart guy, funny guy. I prefer if you don't talk about this next part on your show. Well, how am I supposed to talk about the previous part and then leave people right there? So what do you want me to do then? You want me to reply to this personally, like reply to, okay, well, I respect your privacy, but I'll read it later. All right. Actually, that might have just been a smooth ass way of getting some promo. You gotta respect it. I gotta respect it, nigga. All right. Brian, love the show and have a travel question for you. I travel for work and spend 3 to 4 nights a week in a hotel. I have a Switch and it's fun and also a gaming laptop, and I alternate traveling with one or the other. Man, story of my life. The Switch has gotten stale for me, and some weeks I don't have room to pack or desire of the added weight of the laptop. I've heard great things about the PlayStation Portal and how it's gotten way better with cloud gaming and not needing a PS5 to use the Portal. Biggest complaint I have read is you need solid Wi-Fi and worry about using it on the road in hotels. Do you have a PlayStation Portal? And if so, I'd love to hear your first-hand experience. I don't have a PlayStation Portal, but I believe the homie Frank Castillo does have a PlayStation Portal, and he fucking loves that thing. You know, I don't have a PlayStation Portal because I lost my controller skills. I came up on controller. You know what I mean? OG controller. Never thought I'd switch to PC. I started playing PC one time, like when I was super poor. And my roommate had a PC, and he built a new one and let me have like pieces of the old one. And we started playing like the old Dawn of War, and I just got so hooked on that. And then the first time I played a shooter on PC, you know, and I was like, oh man, this is the way, you know. And I did it, and I did that for quite some years. And I tried to go back and play with a controller, and I can't aim. I don't know, it just don't feel right. So the only thing I use controllers for is platformers, like like Metroidvania type games. Yeah, but I don't know. I can't give you a personal recommendation. I have a Switch that I never turn on. I can't even remember the last time I turned it on. And I have a Steam Deck, which I take all the time. But I don't understand how you don't have room for your laptop. I mean, maybe we're talking like giant, because I recommend getting well, I have a different one now, but the one my tried and true joint for a long time was the Peak Pro joint. You know, that's the backpack that old boy that killed that CEO. That's the backpack he was wearing. Luigi. It's for photographers. But lots of backpacks have that little pocket in the back to slide a laptop in. But this one, the laptop compartment was huge. In fact, I could bring my laptop and my tablet with it. You know, and I have my laptop is I want to say 16 or 17 inch screen. It's one of the Samsung joints. So, not for heavy gaming or anything like that. But I like to bring my tablet. Um, um, but I'll bring that laptop and bring like Anyway, also I highly recommend getting you a travel router. You know what I mean? This changed my life a few months ago. Travel router, when you're in these hotel rooms, you can plug, well, there's various ones with various functionality, but the big thing is you can plug them in somewhere in your room, whether it's behind the TV or the dresser, or sometimes playing out in the corner behind the curtains, whatever. I've only been in one room that didn't have one, but it has like a jack to plug in the internet, and you can plug right into that and create your own Wi-Fi network with, your VPN or whatever the fuck. And it's just better. And even if they don't have the jack, the one I have, the TP-Link joint, it has you can sign into the hotel Wi-Fi, and then it'll still use that Wi-Fi, but create your own shit. So your own network, your own Wi-Fi network. And so it's automatic VPN. So the hotel, because when you sign into them hotels and shit, they have to, you have to agree to terms and services, which is hella shady. So they selling your data, they telling people what websites you're going to, all that shit. So that's one benefit of it, privacy. The second benefit of it is, I forgot to, you can also plug it into your cell phone and use your cell phone's Wi-Fi hotspot or through cable if you have that function. And so basically you can get in any kind of way. It goes into the router and it creates a little network for you, a private network just for you. And the other upside to it, because I like to be some convenience, is that all my devices are already signed into it. So if I bring my laptop, I bring my tablet, I bring my phone. That's pretty much the only things I bring that need Wi-Fi, but I don't have to enter the fucking information for each device. At most, I have to enter it one time, but most of the time I don't have to enter anything because they, so that's what I recommend if you're gaming on the go. All right, let's go to this next one. Jeff, what up? Hey, Brian, I've been listening since episode 53. Wow. And haven't missed a week since. Man, I'm sorry, Jeff. I owe you. I really do. And again, sometimes I'll be taking long hiatuses and people be like, is it stopping? It's never stopping. You know what I mean? It's never stopping. I don't even really make money off this. I kind of break even now. But I love doing this. So I'm never going to stop doing it. This is my, because, comedy used to be the thing I when I had a job, comedy was the thing I did for fun, to soothe my soul. And then when comedy became like my full-time job, I'm a firm believer that you need another creative outlet that's not for profit. You know what I mean? If I start making money from the podcast, it'll still feel like that to me because it's not my main thing that I'm doing. But if I start making big money from it, that'll be great. But I think once your art gets to the point where it's business, where it's mostly business, like or big business, it's like the outlet. It doesn't feel as much like an outlet. You know what I mean? So anyway, okay. At the end of last episode and other episodes, you talk about how the future of robot wars will be because they are denied rights after becoming sentient. My question is, have you ever watched the Animatrix? Of course. Of course. I used to be real obsessed with The Matrix. If you haven't, you described one of the stories in it perfectly. Anyways, keep it tight, Beaver Puss. Yeah, you're right. That was sort of, it's been a long time since I watched Animatrix, or any of the Matrices. But yeah. I think that's the plot of the whole series. Really, right? Is that, that iRobot, a lot, it's a lot of shit like that. It's a lot of animes like that where it's like, yeah, because human nature is, we look to dehumanize so we don't feel guilty, and I don't think we're gonna be any different when those times come. You know what I mean? So, all right, Wandering One. Wow. Greetings, Mr. Simpson, and here's to hoping that your current tour is going well. It's going pretty good. Speaking of which, by the time y'all see this, I don't know if y'all see this by the time, but I'm gonna be in. I'm gonna be in at Laugh Camp Comedy Club in St. Paul, Minnesota this weekend. I'm gonna be at in Santa Ana Pueblo, which is Albuquerque, New Mexico, at Cazada's Comedy Club on March 14th and 15th. I'm gonna be at South by Southwest March 10th. I'm gonna be at Laughs Comedy Club in Seattle. All right, on March 27th, 28th, and 29th. And I'm gonna headline the weekend at the Comedy Mothership on April 4th, 5th, and 6th. Okay, and rounding it out with Punchline Sacramento in May 8th, 9th, and 10th. So, if those dates aren't up on the website, they will be soon. Okay, back to the email. All right. I'll be planning a trip out to see you the next time your scheduling brings you near the Southeast United States. It's really great to see your success, and it's very much deserved. On to the question for the email. We've all asked those hypothetical questions of other people, like, what would you do if you had $1 million, or what superpower would you most want? And while those are fun to conversation starters, I feel like they don't really delve into the person's true ideology or personal philosophy deeply enough to develop a relationship. With that in mind, I would like to pose the following question to you and perhaps your listeners. If you were able to take over as a deity of your choice, the Judeo-Christian God, Buddha, Allah, or whatever, which one would you choose and what would be your day one agenda? Wow, that's a deep question. Perhaps there's a policy change that you would make, or maybe you would like to pull back the curtain for a minute for certain persons to let them in on the secrets of the universe. Just thought I would try to tickle the brains of the listeners with something a little off the beaten track. Again, all the best to you and your listeners and fans, and thanks again for all the laughs and insights. Regards, and keep it watertight, Beaver Puss. I like keep it watertight. Keep it watertight, Beaver Puss. P.S. for off the air. Okay. Oh, the Wandering One podcast. What did I think? I brought them up for something. They had some clip that I liked. Okay. I think I would probably do something fun if I was a deity. You know what I would do? I would make everybody look exactly the same. I would make everybody look exactly the same height, same skin tone, same features, same everything. And you would have to get everything off personality and intelligence. Yeah, I would make everybody the same, and I would start everybody back at zero. Get it out the mud. See what you really made of. You know what I'm saying? I would cure all disease, first of all. Like, everybody won't be exactly even playing field, except they would still have their brain. Their brain would not change. Their personality would not change. Their level of intelligence or creativity would not change. Just to entertain myself, probably. I feel like being a deity would be bored, especially if it was just you. You know? That's what's always tripped me out about the God story. Is like, none of the gods ever create other gods. You know? I think the Greeks and the Romans, I think all of the I don't know I forget what you call them, but like the pagan religions, or the or the multi-theistic religions, I think they had it right, man. Because if we're in God's nature, I feel like loneliness is a factor. What the first thing you would do is create company. Or maybe we're the company. I don't know. I think you would get sick of being the only, like, the smartest, perfectest, most beautifulest. I think you would get sick of it just being you. You can't relate to anyone, you know? So So yeah, I would make those changes. I make some other gods. I'm like, yo, let's make this a committee. Let's make it be 11 of us. I'll be the, the version of the chief justice, and then I'll be the tiebreaker. You know, yeah, that's something I would have to give a lot more thought to have. Like that's like a conversation. Hey Brian, big fan for a long time, bigger fan since I got to open for you in Tacoma. Um, for the weed tour thing a few years ago. Oh wow, that was a long time ago. That was more than a few years ago. I'm a 4-year comic. Well, how's that possible? Because that was more than 4 years ago, wasn't it? Was it 2025? Whatever. I'm a 4-year comic and a club MC and one-off feature, small following, mostly local right now. Your comedy advice is top-notch, and I wanted to ask. I recently visited Austin to try the Kill Tony thing and do some comedy in the Epicenter. It was very fun, but it made me realize how much further there is to go because I was basically back to an open micer out there. My question, when do you think is the right time to move to a bigger market? Should one be a local headliner who's branching out, or do you think earlier is better? Um, I don't know if there's a bad time or I think you should wait. Here's the thing. You'll know when it's time. You know what I mean? If you're not bullshitting yourself, because some people they're in denial or they making excuses or they waiting for the perfect moment. It ain't gonna be no perfect. You know what I mean? But when you get to the point where you start being the funniest person where you are, you need to leave. Because you're not gonna improve after that. You know, when you're not around people that's better than you, and you're not witnessing that on a nightly basis, you're not gonna get better. You know what I mean? Because I started in San Diego, and it took me about 5 years to become. I mean, I was pretty much one of the best comics there in about 3.5, 4 years, and I didn't leave for 5 years. And by the time I had left San Diego, people were telling me to leave for a couple years, and I was scared, and I was waiting for the right moment and all this other shit. But at that time, I had so much stage time. It was crazy. I could go up everywhere. You know what I mean? I was probably doing, I mean, if I include all the hosting and weekend opening and featuring and on top of the mics and all the little bar shows and all of that shit. I mean, I was on stage probably, I don't know, 3 to 6 hours a week, you know? And, 2.5 of those hours, 3 of those hours are like hosting the mics and shit like that. But I was getting a lot of stage time, all the stage time I wanted, and I was really good. And then I moved to LA, and I got a fraction of the stage time, but I still got better. You understand what I'm saying? Whereas so I went from doing, at minimum in San Diego, I was doing 15-minute sets, every set, nothing less than that. And when I moved to LA, it was like, ugh. First of all, you're not an open mic. It's like you're not an open micer, because let me put it a different way. It's like going to a new comedy scene is like going to a new school. You know what I mean? It's like your popularity don't follow you, but your intelligence does. Your grades do. And it's kind of like that. It's like, yeah, don't nobody know you. So, but you're as funny as you still, your comedy follows. And in almost every comedy scene, obviously there's always going to be politics. And also, obviously, this is a whole new generation of comics and people. And so the politics may be a little different, but at the end of the day, if you're hilarious, people will find out real quick and you'll be doing, shows. And so that's going to be the case no matter where you fucking move. And that's that's one of the biggest things that turns people away from New York and LA and Chicago and probably Austin now, right? Those, to me, though, I think those are the biggest comedy markets. And and it's that they're the man where they from, and then they get out to one of those places and no one gives a fuck. I'm sorry, no one gives a fuck. They get out to one of those places, you the man in Illinois, and then you fucking move, and then you move. Actually, no, Chicago is in Illinois. So let me you the man in Minnesota. You know what I mean? Just like I was saying, you can go up wherever the fuck. You know what I mean? Everybody know you funny. Your name, when people asking for who funny, your name come up all the time. Whoop, whoop, and then you move to a city where everybody is that. Everybody that moved there was that somewhere. Well, not everybody, but you know what I'm saying? And don't nobody fucking know you. You know what I'm saying? And so you coming in a stranger, and you feel like an outsider. And that's tough because you know how funny you are, and you don't want to have to prove it again. So that's what keeps a lot of people in their home cities. And I don't blame you. This lifestyle is uncomfortable unless you're rich. This lifestyle is very uncomfortable unless you got some kind of trust fund or something. A lot of it is not who you know, but who know you, your reputation. And everywhere you go new, you got to build that until you become, once you hit a certain level, your reputation will precede you. But that's a long time down the road, So that's why I always tell everybody, focus on the jokes. You have no idea how many comics come up to me and go, how come I can't get in the mothership? Like, I'm doing this and I'm doing that. I'm like, nigga, just focus on the jokes. It don't matter. You know what I'm saying? How come I'm at the store all the time. I killed on the open mic. The booker saw me. What was the deal? It's like, nigga, just focus on your jokes. Because that's the only thing that you could take with you. Maybe this ain't the place for you. Maybe they don't fuck with you. Maybe another city's for you. But if you're not funny, funny is the hardest thing. All that other shit is easy. All the politics and handshaking and going to the right party and, all that shit is easy. Being funny is the hardest thing. Being actually talented is not necessary. I've said this a million times. You could be a shameless, kiss ass, a ladder climber, whatever the fuck, and that works. But if you're trying to eat off your reputation, you gotta be good. And you have to obsess about your art form and only worry about that. And once you're at the point where you're a beast, then go somewhere else. Because it will be apparent. It will be apparent. You know what I mean? Everywhere I went outside of San Diego, it was always like that. It was always like, okay, who is this guy? Okay, yeah, stand over there. We'll get you up when we can. Whoop, whoop, whoop. And then after I get off stage, it was like, holy shit, come back anytime. You know what I mean? Or some people just still don't fuck with you. You got to move the fuck on. I'm saying that, and this is going into the weeds because I've said this a million times, but no institution will make or break you. There is no club, venue, booker, other comic that's worth your pride or not pride, but that like. Now listen, if you go around making enemies of everyone, you're going to have a hard time. But what I'm saying is there's no comic club, clique, comic, whoever, that's worth you wasting your time trying to get them to like you or think you're funny when they already don't. Move on. Move on. You know what I mean? If you a beast and you know it, then all you got to do is display that. You know what I mean? I like I said, I can't tell you how many people I've seen hanging around. When I was in San Diego, there's a comedy store there, and there was the Madhouse, and there was another club, and it's like different clubs fuck with different people. You know what I mean? Because each place has one person that decides who gets in, and that person, their sense of humor is what's going to determine. Their sense of humor and integrity is going to determine who the comics are there, And so it's like, Granny used to say, you could be the sweetest peach on the tree, and some people don't like peaches. Period. So anyway, my point is, I guess that to answer your question, yeah, you move when you're ready. You move when you the man or one of. You know what I'm saying? And where do you move? I think the best place to move is somewhere where you know people. You know what I mean? Because that's what's going to get your foot in the door. Is go somewhere where you know people, and I think that makes the transition much easier. And I know you might be in like one of those small ass markets where no one has ever left and gone to a bigger place or whatever, or maybe they have and you don't know them. In which case, I would say, well, visit those places, see what it is. You came to Austin, you got the vibe. Go to New York, the comedy vibe. See, and that's another thing is there's a kind of unspoken rule in comedy where it's like if you from out of town, people will try to help you out. You know what I mean? If you give them enough notice, if you don't badger them, they'll try to help you out because they want you to help them out if they come to your town. So it's not hard to plug in. But yeah. Anyway, I hope that answered your question. I rambled. All right, Tiffany. Cheers to the kitty cat. Okay, Beaver Puss. Y'all know B looks super good, but your cat, the damn star of the show. Just wanted to holler at your cat. Meow. Hey, Mills, you got just wanted to holler at your cat. Meow. I have kittens. You can hit me up if you need one. Yours truly. All right. Hey, Brian. I had sent an email in that you read starting 11 minutes into episode 106. And it only further confirmed a lot about what I know about myself regarding comedy and a career in law. I'm about a year into comedy now, and you're right, it's an addiction for sure. I'm also coming off a raise in a firm that my boss and a few other paralegals started up. I'm learning a lot and studying up for the LSAT. I can look back on progress. It feels fucking amazing. Word to the advice champ. I am the advice champ, by the way, all the YMH fans. Regarding brother beef. We're both doing our thing. The more time I devote to improving, the more it's understood we're both men coming up in the world. There's some distance, but it is what it is. I guess I can expect to be little bro once in a while as the little brother. Advice question. Do you tend to be close to your siblings? The episode where you had your sister on was dope. And if so, is it hard to be close to them given a tumultuous childhood? Thanks, Brian. I'll be sure to grab tickets next time you're in the Bay Area. P.S. It would be super dope if you checked out my clip. No plugs or anything. It would just mean a lot. P.P.S. This clip was at The Function, the first Black-owned comedy club in the Bay. It's super dope. Oh, there's a club in the Bay? A Black-owned club in the Bay? All right, let's talk about it. Yeah, I'll definitely check that out. Let me see here. It's called The Function. Okay, well, that's a phone clip. Okay, well, I'll watch it after this. Oh yeah, the advice question. How do you tend to be close to your siblings? I mean, look, the truth of the matter is, siblings are just like any other people in the sense that like distance makes it hard to be close in that sense where it's like I fiercely love my siblings, but I'm not around. You know what I mean? And it's like if you're not around, that day to day, that quality time, just like you got to spend quality time with your significant other. You got to spend quality time with your friends and family for y'all to have that bond. Because it's like, me and my siblings have like an unbreakable bond. You feel me? But we don't talk every day. You know what I mean? Once a week, something like that. But they all got lives they live in. You know what I mean? They got their own lives in all different places, different families, different shit going on. So like none of us take it personal that we don't, But when we speak, it's like we never left off. So yeah, I'm pretty close with my siblings. And and my brother don't have to little bro me because I just give him that deference, or that I let that be the dynamic. You know what I mean? Me and my brothers never had like a sibling rivalry or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? So I can't really relate in that manner. My siblings have never really been jealous of one another. Or we never like compare like, oh, how come they got, It was never that. So, yeah, hope that answers your question. The function. All right. Hi, Brian. My name is Kelsey, and I'm the co-founder of an influencing marketing company. It's so funny when I get these influencer marketing companies. What's so funny to me is they never have a lot of followers. They be trying to tell you, oh, I got the secret to get you more followers. It's like, well, where yours at? It's all nonsense to me. All those people talking like that, they don't know what the fuck they talking about. That to me, that's one of those jobs that was like fake created. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's one of those bullshit jobs. I'm gonna tell you, you want to know how you get more followers? Be more famous. That's it. Point blank, period. The only thing that's ever got me a significant amount of followers is more famous people saying my name. That's it. Now I know that doesn't apply to you content creators. I know that's a whole different world. And we out here making sketches and skits and dances and all of that shit. I don't know nothing about that world. And I know, like, if you're doing it that way, you gotta be, have a schedule and consistency and flood the market and all of that shit. So that's it. The only thing I've ever seen give people more followers is three things: becoming more famous some other way, just flooding the fucking market, or controversy. But again, be careful, because however you get famous, you got to keep doing that shit to stay famous, right? Or something lower than that. You got to keep getting desperate and doing more and more desperate shit to stay famous. So just make sure whatever you do for fame, there's something you can keep up. Fame is not the prize. All right, this is from Dr. Good question. I'm pretty sure I met him recently in person. Hey, Brian, I love both comedy and tech as you do, and I'm designing a microphone I would love your thoughts on. I'm working on a mic intended specifically for stand-up comedy, modeling it loosely on the SM58 for the look of it. So far, my goals for the mic are... Okay, so this isn't really a podcast thing. Oh, okay, no, yes it is. Well, I don't want to give out your ideas. What do you think of the concept in general? Okay, let's just read them. Durable while maintaining good sound quality, be able to drop the mic, hit stuff with it, swing it around, etc., without damaging it. Comedians use the mic as a prop, as well as to capture sound to allow that to be a thing. Ergonomic and light as possible, so you can hold it comfortably for long periods of time. Wired and wireless capabilities, so you can do either. Changeable grills of different colors and styles to match with color schemes of venues or specials. Attachable FX device, so you can add reverb on the fly, trigger audio clips, etc. Have the interference. I think that's a bit much. What do you think of the content in general, and any other specs you would be interested in for the mic? Do you think it's too niche of a mic to be marketable? Love to hear any of your thoughts. I mean, too niche. I don't know if it's too niche, but it's definitely niche. Or is it niche? Hey, Google, how do you pronounce NICHE?
This is for informational purposes only. For medical advice or diagnosis,
Get the fuck out of here with
consult a
that.
professional. The word niche has two common pronunciations. Niche rhymes with pitch. This is the older and more common...
Niche and niche. Okay, bam. Your boy is worldly. All right. Yeah, I think it's a good idea, but I think you probably gonna end up having to sell that to like a specific mic company. But bro, who knows? Because a lot of clubs don't even be buying. Like, see, you coming into this under the misconception that comedy venues give a fuck about quality of anything. Most of them don't. Most comedy clubs don't even have a backup mic. They only have two. You know what I'm saying? So, the market for that is going to be like for a custom microphone. I mean, I'm sure they're out there, but I think focusing on a mic just for comics, I wouldn't market it that way because that's not enough people. You know, something this niche will uh will be expensive, and most comics are poor. You know, and if you're talking about like the famous rich people, most of them don't give a fuck, or they already have, you know. But I don't know. Again, I don't know a goddamn thing about marketing. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about because I've been wrong about a lot of shit like this where I'm like, I don't know if that's gonna work. Look, I remember this girl. I had a crush on this girl back in the day, and she told me this idea about basically she was in a marketing class, and she told me this idea. Um, and I didn't think it was stupid, but I just didn't get it. I was like, I don't understand how that's gonna work, you know. And then, 5 years later, we're in the middle of pandemic, and Peloton takes off, and that was basically her idea, you know, of like having like virtual coaches to coach you through workouts. Because I was like, well, you can watch that on YouTube or whatever. I don't understand how that's going. She was right, and it didn't make any sense. I mean, it made sense to me, but I just couldn't in my brain think of like who would buy that. But she nailed it. Now it's like everyone's on it. Now they have a bike. They got a row machine that does the same thing and a couple of other things. So what matters is, do you believe in that shit? Then go for it. That's what I say. What is this? A bill? Oh, this is fake. Bro, motherfuckers really be slick. I think about it and I forget which fan wrote this in, but I think about it all the time when we were talking about scammers on the pod, and somebody said, I was just talking about how dumb you are when you fall for scams, and somebody wrote in and told me, or maybe it was a comment on the YouTube channel, but they were like, no, they purposely make the scam stupid because they want stupid people. So they don't want it to be some sophisticated scam because they know if you fall for the stupid one, you'll fall for everything. And so like, when I get these scams, it's so funny to me because I'm like, can you just add me to some list of somebody that ain't going for it? Because I've turned down real shit because it seems scammy. You ain't about to get up. You ain't about to get your boy. You ain't about to get your boy. I mean, I'm not immune, but here we go. Hi, Brian. Love the pod and your comedy. Seeing you in Philly. Hell yeah, dude. I start watching Atlanta and go to season 3, episode 2, The Homeliest Little Horse. The episode is about revenge. While watching, I thought of you. Well, I haven't seen that. I was wondering if you have seen it, and if so, what are your thoughts? I haven't. I watched the first. I watched Atlanta because the other people in my house was watching it, so I saw most of the first season and maybe half of the second season. But I didn't. I never watched it like religiously, and it's not because I don't think it's a good show, but because it was Hulu, and I never fucked with them back then, because I had the budget. You feel me? And so I was like, hey, so that was back when it was like, I don't know if Hulu, I don't know if that's worth it. I got Max, I got Netflix. It wasn't Max back then. It was something else. Yeah, but I haven't seen it. But because of you, I'm gonna check it out. There you go, superstar. Tiffany says you're adorable. You're the star of the show. All right. And we got a few more. We got a couple more. All right. I'm doing it. Thank you for. What the fuck? Hey, Brian. Hope all is well. Come on, babe. Let me get. You blocking the sound, boo. Come on, scooch. Thank you. All right. Hope all is well. Since my last email, I'm not sure if you're still accepting music submissions, but just in case, I've attached the most recent instrumental, Moonlight Melodies, to this email. Feel free to use it. Let's hear it. Let's hear it, boo.
For your listening enjoyment, we now present the Moonlight Melodies of...
Yeah, that's hard. I like that. I like that. Yeah, that's dope. That's dope. Moonlight, I mean, you ain't tell me, like, is this on some platform or something like that? This is from Nevaze, or is it Nava Easy? Navaez. Google can't tell me how to announce that. But yeah, much love. Let me know if that's on some platforms or something. That's a good little instrumental. And I'm pretty sure, yeah, that's all of the God, babe. Holy shit. I'm pretty sure that's all of the. Oh, you in love with this thing now? I'm pretty sure that's all of the emails. And listen, if you want to support the podcast, like, share, subscribe, comment. Come see me live on tour. The tour dates were earlier in the episode. Come see me at the Mothership. I'm there every single Tuesday, 7:30 and 10:30, bottom of the barrel. It's an improvised comedy show. And it's awesome. Yeah, I appreciate y'all sticking with the pod, and I'll see you next time.